Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back. I decided that I wanted to do a pick-a-pile reading for Venus/Mercury retrograde. I say Venus/Mercury retrograde because, as many will be aware, Venus and Mercury are essentially moving through their retrogrades together at this point. They are working in tandem. We've talked a little bit about this energy of how Venus is representing that heart energy, which is reprogramming the mind, represented by the Mercury energy. And we're building this heart-mind coherence, this balance and synergy between the heart and the mind. Now, this is a very intense retrograde. We have eclipses going on during this time as well. We had the total lunar eclipse in Virgo, and now we're moving toward the partial solar eclipse in Aries. And Mercury actually moves into the sign of Pisces during that eclipse. And right before, or right as, I suppose you could say, Neptune. I'm still getting used to having the mic here, you guys. You guys know I wave my hands all over the place. Essentially, right as Neptune is entering Aries for the first time since 1861. So there's a lot of crazy energy going on. This is really stirring up a lot within us, within our love lives and our relationships, our friendships, within our careers when it comes to our scarcity complex, if we have it, or our abundance mentality, if that's where we're at. When it comes to essentially all the really personal aspects of our lives, this retrograde season is hitting home. And right now, as I'm recording this, we have Venus, which I think today, you guys know how I am. Anybody who's returning, anybody who's new, welcome. Everybody who's returning knows that I suck with dates. I'm pretty sure it is the 27th today. I'm looking for my phone here to corroborate. Yes, it is. So Venus is switching into Pisces right now. We will, as we said, have Mercury switching into Pisces during that eclipse. And officially, I believe it is on the day after. During the eclipse, I believe Mercury will be at 0 degrees of Aries, that birthing point, that 0 degree point. And then we'll be moving to 29 Pisces as Neptune moves from 29 Pisces to 0 Aries. So doing the little switcheroo there. And that sort of exchange of energy, the passing of the torch, as we've been calling it. So that's a big, big energy. And this is going to be a big shift in the energies of retrograde season in general, because we're going to have Venus and Mercury no longer in the sign of Aries, but within the sign of Pisces. So there's going to be a lot of deep feeling as we're moving through the last couple weeks of Venus's retrograde cycle and the last week of Mercury's retrograde cycle. It's really, we've learned so much with Venus and Mercury within the sign of Aries, so much about what we desire, what we want, how it is that we go after what we want, what is perhaps standing in our way, what is facilitating that process. How do we go about working with that energy, with our masculine energy? Do we tend to tread all over people? Do we tend to sort of gravitate more towards selfishness in our relationships and the achievement of our goals? Or do we think about other people? Do we bring other people's needs into the conversation? And for some, do we perhaps do that too much, right? Where is all of that balance? When we're working with Aries energy, we're also working with its opposing sign of Libra, which is the sign of relationship, the sign of the 7th house, the sign of balance. So really beginning to understand all of these things, really in this energy of desiring independence, desiring freedom. And now moving into Pisces, we're really re-examining things from a deeper lens. There's a deeper focus on relationship, on interconnectedness. There's a deeper feel of sort of swim, if you will, into the collective consciousness with Mercury, right, representing the mind energy. So this is where we become much more intuitive, where we're tapping into, I'm feeling like, different evolutions of our energy, past life, current life energies here, where all of that is sort of melding together. So we're going to be feeling a lot, not just our own emotions, but other people's. We're going to be able to put ourselves in other people's shoes a lot more easily. So this is going to help us see all the revelations and all the things that came up during the retrograde season in Aries, and even the eclipse in Aries, now we're getting like a deeper look at that. We're getting to feel into it more on an emotional level. We're getting to really understand more from the other people's perspective. Aries is very much about, this is my mindset, this is my perspective, this is how I see the world, this is what I want and how I want it. You know, Pisces energy is more understanding the other person, understanding all the nuances of things, and seeing that deeper spiritual perspective, getting that deeper spiritual perspective. So that's going to be a big aspect of this energy for us as we're moving into Pisces. Pisces is very creative, right? Aries is all about what we want to initiate, what we want to start, the spark of creation, right? What we want to, like we said, initiate, start, create. Pisces energy is more about how we flow, how we learn how to work with the energy of surrender, how we sink into our feminine, we become that point of attraction. So there's a letting go, where Aries is very much the masculine, right? Ruled by Mars, of like, let's do this. Pisces is like, let's feel into this, let's flow into this. So it's a very different vibe, a very different energy that we're shifting into. And it might feel a little bit jarring. It might feel for some like a little bit of a breath of fresh air, because that charge of Aries energy is kind of released a little bit. But this is also where we may find ourselves delving even more deeply into escapist tendencies. This is where addictive tendencies come out to play. This is where those energies of disillusionment, of frustration, where we may be noticing where we have set expectations of others that are perhaps unrealistic or too high, or even expectations of ourselves. Pisces energy is very idealistic, right? It sees the potential, it sees the beauty, it sees through to the soul of everything and everyone. But that can be tiring sometimes, especially when people in situations and even ourselves fail to live up to those expectations and those ideals of what is possible. So there's a lot of different nuances to this energy. I'm going to show you 3 different crystals here. And hold on, before I do that, sorry guys. If I didn't tell you when the retrogrades end, Mercury's retrograde ends on the 7th and Venus's retrograde ends on the 12th. So now moving forward to the crystals, just feel into each one of these, and whichever one resonates with you more, that's the pile that you pick. I mean, that's not like to say, I say if the number itself calls out to you, choose a number. Just go with your intuition, however you're guided to choose. But I am going to show you some crystals. This is the crystal for pile number 1, this beautiful celestite right here. I'm trying to hold it up to the camera. I'm still, like, the camera thing and where it is still a little bit confusing to me. I've got a whole new setup going on here. So let me know if it is an improvement. I got a new mic, as you can see, and a new camera. And I'm just trying to make the experience for these videos better for everyone. So let me know if you're enjoying it. Let me know if the mic is making a difference. Maybe you don't notice a difference. When I film on my phone, the sound is pretty great anyway, but camera is definitely an improvement from what was going on before. All right, moving on. Pile number 2 is going to be this gorgeous cluster of just amazingness here. We have pyrite, we have galena on the end here, and we also have clear quartz. So this is like just a beautiful cluster right here. And then we have, for pile number 3, this beautiful, I believe this is angel aura quartz. So if you're drawn to pile number 3 for your retrograde reading, then this is the stone for you. And so we're going to see what comes out for each of these piles. Love, money are probably going to be 2 of the big themes, but it could be anything. And now we're going to do... Let's see, what are we going to do for... Okay, yeah, that's what I'm feeling. All right, pile number 1. If you chose the celestite, then this is going to be your reading. Clear. Venus and Mercury retrograde for pile number 1. Let's get some energies here. And Spirit's saying this is going to be not just for what you're experiencing during the retrograde, but for what you're going to be integrating afterwards. And there is an integration period. I believe I want to say it's May 1st that Mercury comes out of shadow. Don't quote me on these. I know May 1st is when something comes out of shadow. I do believe it is Mercury. I'm not sure for Venus here. Sorry, I don't have those dates for you, but you can look that up if you feel called to. All right, first card out here is the Seven of Swords. Interesting. Get a couple here before we dig too deep into this. And I'm going to move the mic a little bit. Still trying to figure, like I said, figure out where this baby goes and how that all works. So it's fun though, right? It's always an adventure. So we have the Death card, Scorpio energy coming out here. This is some sort of transformation that you don't see coming, pile number one. We've got the Queen of Swords, air energy here. Feminine air energy doesn't have to be a female biologically or gender-wise, though this could be the essence, the energy is what we're talking about here. With the King of Pentacles, so that's that masculine earth energy. And the Six of Swords. So this feels like a balance in a couple different areas of your life. It feels like a balance when it comes to perhaps finances or your physical world, your stability, your security. And then also when it comes to your mental state. Like there's a worry that's released here. I feel like for my pile number ones, you guys have been stressed out a lot. There's been a lot of stress, a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety. And I'm feeling like you may be experiencing this moving through this retrograde. But like even an uptick of this energy. But what Spirit's saying is that as you move through and the retrograde completes itself, it's actually, you're going to come out of this feeling way better than you did during. It's like something is clearing, something is releasing here for you during this process. I feel like belief systems, there's a lot of shifting of belief systems, releasing of belief systems here. There's some magic here too. Like I'm drawn to the death. Like you see in this card how there is the trees, like the pine trees, and then you see the sky. Something with that. I mean, I live in New England, so the pine trees, that reminds me of home. Some of you may live in a similar place or be visiting a place. Camping. I'm feeling camping, like a camping trip, some sort of trip that somebody's planning on taking. Maybe a vacation, like I'm feeling like a national forest or some type of energy like that. There's something really powerful that's going to happen there. And it's going to happen. It's like when you're laying out at night, staring up at the stars. There's something with that energy. I'm also feeling that energy of like written in the stars. So let's go back to this a little bit. So there's this energy of, with the King of Pentacles here, this also feels like relaxation. Like, see how relaxed he looks? And like I said, this camera switches the sides too, which is really irritating. So it makes everything it turns everything backwards, which I haven't had in a while. So like, it's like I try to move it that way and it moves the opposite way. It's a real mind fuck, which might be relevant to this and what you guys are going through right now, right? Because this is a lot of mental energy I'm feeling for this pile particularly. I mean, definitely, like we said, this relaxation, though, this does feel, it's mental, right? Because it's all mental. But it's like a relaxation around where you stop worrying about your finances so much is what it feels like. And for some of you, it's like you're worrying less about social acceptability as well. If that's been a big issue for you, it's like this energy of embracing where it is that you are the lone wolf and knowing like it's okay if not everybody likes me, right? I don't have to be everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. This is like a revelation for you, I feel like, because you've really worried about that for a really long time. And there's like this freedom as you're able to let that go and just be like, you know what? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. At the end of the day, it's, you know, like what X, Y, and Z think about me is none of my business. It's like really embracing that energy here I'm feeling. There's just a freedom. There's a happiness. Like, look at his face. Like, he has gray hair, but there's a youthfulness to him. Right. And I feel like that youthfulness is just the letting go of all the excess stress and worry that he was carrying around. Yeah, so this is the reason I say this transformation you don't see coming is like I feel like you feel so stressed out right now during this retrograde that like you can't even imagine, like as I'm talking and I'm talking about like not caring what people think and being more relaxed about your finances, letting everything flow. You're like, I don't see how I'm ever going to get from like where I am right now to where you're talking. You know what I mean? So it's unexpected in that way. And there's this energy of like, even look how cool, calm, and collected she is, right? This is like, I'm feeling gossip here. I'm feeling like whoever I'm reading for, you've been the victim of gossip before. You've been one of those people that people just felt like they had to get a word in about. I feel like there's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of pettiness around you. And this happens to a lot of people who are drawn to this channel. You are light workers. You are empaths. You are people who are here to shift the collective frequency and energy. You carry your own frequency, right? And that your light can be irritating to others, right? Some of us, like our literal part of our mission is to be triggering to others. That triggering and activating are oftentimes the same energy, right? When you activate people, you often trigger their darkness so that can be transmuted and alchemized into light if they're ready, if they're willing to do that. And not everybody is. All right. So like in the meantime, it's like your pure presence sometimes may piss people off. And that's really hurtful, right? When that happens, because we're not doing anything intentionally. We have good intentions. We're loving towards people. Generally speaking, yeah, we get annoyed just like everybody else does. We have our preferences just like everybody else, but we genuinely love people and want to see the best for people. And you're not coming at people in a way that should be eliciting this type of response. And so it can be cruel. It can be hurtful. So there's like a letting go of that and just being like, you know what? I'm not for everybody and that's okay. People are going to gossip about me. People are going to do whatever, say whatever. It's fine. Like, I'm not going to let that impact me anymore. I'm not going to let that affect me anymore. All right. And trust me, I understand this energy. I spent a lot of my younger life being bullied. The town that I grew up in, a lot of people strongly disliked me there for a lot of these reasons, right? I don't even think a lot of them knew why. It was just something about my energy. I was a little bit of an asshole, but so were they. So I don't think it was that, because everybody was at that time point. It was just, it is the energy. It's the frequency. Even when I was submerged in my shadow, there's still a light to me. Just like I know there was still a light to you. All right. So it's like I had to learn early in life how to develop a thick skin. Because if I had cared what everybody thought about me and whether people were talking about me and what they were saying and really allowed that to get to me on a day-to-day basis, I never would have left my house. I would have been a mess. I would have been just crying under the covers every single day. So you got to learn to develop a thick skin. And everybody does that at a different pace, at a different rate. Whoever I'm reading for right now, I feel like you're finally getting to that point. You're getting to that point of zero fucks given, like to put it bluntly, which is a great place to be. All right. It's like there's a book, and I never actually read it, but I love the title of it, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I feel like it's coming through that somebody might benefit from reading that book. And it's like, and this energy can be, and there's an art to it, right? That's why the book, and I've never read it. Like I said, I'm just like playing off of the title here. There's a reason why they say it's called a subtle art, right? Because we have to know we can't not care about anything to the extent that we never do anything, that we never try, that we never put ourselves out there, like that we don't get up off the couch and we end up getting evicted from our house or our apartment. We end up homeless on the street. Like, you have to give a fuck to a certain extent, but it's knowing what to give a fuck about and what to not. Right? And it's knowing how much of a fuck to give. That's the energy here. And it's like, where is the placement of my fucks? And I'm sorry that I'm swearing so much in this. I mean, I'm not really. This is going to be for who it's meant for. If you are being offended by this reading is not for you. This is not your message. All right. But they gotta be well-placed fucks, essentially, is like what we're getting at here. You gotta understand how to navigate that, how to work with that energy. What do I care about and how much care do I put into that? But it's like the things to not give a fuck about are like, how is my manifestation gonna come? When is my manifestation gonna come? How am I gonna pay the bills? Instead of like stressing out about it. Because I know, like I said, finances have been a stress for some of the people picking this pile. It's like, I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to let it be what it is. I'm going to take the steps. Obviously, I'm going to be doing things actively to be bringing in income, because we live in a 3D world. We got to be able to do that, right? I'm going to be following my inspiration. I'm going to be paying attention to that, but I'm not going to be stressing out about it. You know, it's like at the end of the day, when I lay my head down on the pillow, I know there's nothing more that I can do about anything today. Today's a done deal. My responsibility now is to get some sleep, to get some rest, so that I'm able to get up tomorrow and be in a clear state of mind to do what I need to do tomorrow. What I want, you know, like that's the energy. It's like knowing when and what to, how to utilize your mental energy, where to place it, right? Coming up with a constructive list of like, these are the things that I can do. These are the actions that I can take that are positive, that are leading me in a beneficial direction, right? That's a good use of our mental energy. Sitting there worrying about all the things that could go wrong, obsessing about it's like, make a list of all the bills you have to pay, but then put that list aside, know when they're due, but don't keep hashing it over and over in your mind. Like, oh my God, this is going to be coming up and that's going to be coming up. It's just like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? What am I doing? And what energy am I embodying while I'm doing it? We could go down so many tangents with that energy, but I don't think I need to. I think whoever this is for, like, you understand what I'm saying. You know, it's like focusing on, it's like the serenity prayer, right? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. That's this energy. This is where you start living that. You have the wisdom to know the difference. You are changing the things that you can change, and you're no longer obsessing over the things that you can't, or trying to change the things that you can't, right? Because that's where we get into trouble. And we got the Sun here, all right? The Sun and the Queen of Pentacles. So this is unification of the masculine and the feminine here. This is also, I'm feeling like business partnerships coming together for some of you. I'm feeling like people that you're compatible with coming into your reality. Doesn't need to be necessarily romance. I'm feeling, like I said, a lot of business partnerships for people in this pile, friendships, not necessarily so much romance. Not to say that's not going on for you guys in pile number one. Some of you, I feel, are in a committed relationship already. And I'm not really getting much about that. I don't feel like there's a big focus on that for this reading. Some of you are single. Some of you, it's just, that's not the big energy, the predominant energy of what you're going through or working through right now. I do feel like a resurgence in health and vitality. So if some of my pile number ones have been feeling run down, I feel like there are things you're being guided to do right now. And I can relate to this. I've been doing a lot around working out more, getting my body moving, looking into the things that I can take and put into my body to support it physically. Some of you guys, you want to be working with some of that too. And also energy healing, I'm feeling. Energy healing and literally getting out in the sun and absorbing that sunshine, absorbing that solar energy. Every chance you get, we're going to get more and more chances as we continue in the Northern Hemisphere to move into summertime. And I am so looking forward to that as well. I'm feeling like a big shift with the Aries. For those who are finding this, well, I mean, most of you are probably going to be watching this during the retrograde. If you're watching it after, then I'm sure there's a message in here for you. There's a reason you were drawn to it. If you're this far into the video, I don't need to tell you that. You already understand that. And it was 2332 when I said that. 2332. All right. This is the 19 card. We also have a 7 and a 13 and a 6 out on the table here. And 9 plus 1 is 10, which breaks down to a 1 card with the sun here. So major activations you are receiving during this Aries solar eclipse as well. Are there anything about the activations? Here we go. Anything about the activations that are being received clear from my pile number one during this solar eclipse here? And make sure you watch the little blurb that I posted about the Aries solar eclipse. There was a whole live stream and we had some good stuff in there, but I added on to it and sort of flushed out the energy of the final card that we pulled, the Aquarius card, because there was a lot of information, a lot of downloads coming through surrounding that. So I definitely recommend checking that out. And anyone who resonates with 13, it was the time on that was 1333, which I thought was pretty cool. All right, King of Pentacles coming back up. We talked about activation. So this is the activation that brings you into this, helps to bring you into this King of Pentacles energy. These are wealth codes being activated within you. Self-worth energy as well. Grounding. Spirit's saying to, it's like a stabilization in the core of your being. And in order to anchor that in, get out in nature, connect with nature. That's going to help you to anchor in the energy of those activations. And they're really going to help you become more, like we said, more stable, more grounded, more solid. That energy of solidness is really coming through here. Then we have the 8 of Swords with the 7 of Wands. All right. So this is that self-defeating energy that I feel like you guys were in for a time here. And what this is saying is like, know when to hold them and when to fold them. Know how to pick your battles and pick them well. This is once again the subtle art of not giving a fuck, right? And which fucks to give. All right. This goes towards your interactions with other people as well. I feel like there's a lot of what you might be noticing during this retrograde season is where you avoid conflict at all costs. And or where it is that you end up in too much conflict because you speak without thinking, you say too much, you do too much perhaps. You get all worked up in your mind about these scenarios. So this is like paranoia. So some of this might be in your relationships as well as like finances and stuff like this, where it's like you see the worst case scenario, you start worrying, you get yourself all worked up and stressed out over something. And Spirit's saying, just ask. Just say something. Instead of trying to come up with the reason for a situation, but not wanting to speak to your partner or to your friend or to whoever this is about it because you don't want to cause a fight and just holding it inside, you're getting yourself all worked up. If you said, why did this happen? Right? Why is this going on? What is this about? Instead of you trying to come up with the answers in your own mind, I think that you'd be more pleasantly surprised because there's explanations that are way more benign than what you come up with most of the time is like one thing that I'm feeling here. It's like you're getting this opportunity to really recognize where it is that you are creating the drama in your own life. And a lot of it's all just in your mind. It's not even happening or playing out in the real world. It's all in your mind. For some of you guys it is, but it's because it starts in your mind. All right. So it's like, I talked about this in some other readings, how our brain becomes addicted to the cascade of chemicals that are produced by specific emotions. So drama and those energies and the different neurotransmitters that are produced when we're experiencing that, our brains become addicted to that. And then we unconsciously keep acting out scenarios either in our own minds or outwardly with people, or we draw people to us who also act out these scenarios so that our brains can literally get that hit of those chemicals. So like it's about detoxing your brain in a sense. And this heart-mind coherence of Mercury and Venus are really going to be helping with that. This is like a mental detox in a lot of ways. So just allow that process. Start becoming the observer of these cycles and start realizing how you can recognize if your brain is going into one of those spiraling cycles and pull yourself out of it, snap yourself out of it, do something to shift that energy. All right. Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you guys too, there's a lot that's being released. You may have a lot being removed from your reality right now to make room for what's coming in. So this is energetic purging. This is also like if anything is leaving a relationship, a job, whatever it is, let it go. You don't need it. This is also a great time for spring cleaning for you guys, especially, they say like messy head, messy bed. And that cluttered mind energy. If you want to declutter your mind, declutter your space. All right. Get rid of all the stuff that you don't wear anymore. Get rid of all the stuff that you don't need. Make room for the new to come in. That's a big, big energy here. And recognize that if any of these big things are leaving your reality, it's because they're no longer in alignment and they're making room for what is. I feel like some of you guys, you had a wish. And that wish is being granted, but it's being granted in the sense of removing things from your reality. So it's not going to seem very pleasant. This is probably not the way you wanted or hoped that wish was going to be granted, but it very rarely is. But this is the answer to your prayer. So just let the things go that are trying to leave. Don't cling on to them. Don't hold on to them. It's literally that energy of like, hold on and be dragged. All right. And these are the unhealthy patterns that we talked about. And the, choosing the battles. All right. I feel like for some of you, the final message coming through here is you may have someone from your past coming back in. Could be romantic, could be a friendship, could even be like a family member for some of you that you kind of disengaged with. It's weird. I'm actually even feeling a child for someone, like a child that you actually have a very toxic relationship with. And so if this is like, particularly if this is like an old lover or ex or like a friend or something that you had a toxic connection with, be really careful about that, because I feel like they're coming back in with that same energy that they had before. So notice those red flags. Those red flags are still there because they're still the same person. I don't feel like they've grown. I don't feel like they've changed. And they are literally a physical representation of that energy of like, are you going to choose the old or are you going to choose the new? Are you going to choose that addiction to drama and chaos and misery, or are you going to choose something different? It's that energy, old timeline versus new timeline. The old timeline is going to be trying to suck you back in. So what are you going to do? This is where you also recognize, I feel like for the first time maybe, you start recognizing the people that are still in your life, or people that were in your life at one point that aren't anymore, but where you didn't perhaps realize how unhealthy or toxic the connection was until maybe they reach back out. Or maybe they just come back into your mind and you're kind of like thinking over the connection and you're like, wait a minute, that was kind of messed up that they used to say that or that they did that. So it's like a recognition, a deeper recognition of the layers of dysfunction within relationships. And then we trace that back, right? How many of these relationships have we had? What's the common denominator, right? If I'm the common denominator, what is the wound within me that keeps attracting this, that keeps calling this in? And then it's an opportunity to heal that so that we don't need to keep going through these cycles. Some of you guys too, it's like, I feel like there may be entity attachments and things for some of you, and you'll know this, you feel this right now as a pulling within you, like pulling within your gut, or like you're having some type of body reaction to this, or something is like activating within you. When I say that, that's going to let you know if that is for you or not. You have some type of entity attachment that it's ready to release. You're ready to release it, and you might need some assistance with that. So reach out to me if you'd like. Those are sessions that I do. They're really powerful sessions. The raw Reiki energy removal, as well as the aura hypnosis healing. It's time to kick them to the curb. It's time to let them go. Entities are like fleas on a dog. Most people have them. The extent to which they have them depends on the life that they've lived, the traumas they've endured, what they've brought through for past lives, through their genetics, so many different things. We do naturally discharge some of these entities as we continue to heal and grow. Some of them are really kind of like burrowed in there, especially the ones that have been with us for lifetimes. So it can really help to have somebody come and assist within that process. You did most of the work to get ready to the point where you're ready to have that removed. So this is kind of like that final piece within that process. So for whoever that's going to resonate for. And you'll know, because like I said, you felt that instant tug when I said that, even if now the mind, which is also the entity, is coming in and saying, no, you don't need that. That's not, you didn't really feel that. You didn't react to that. You're just imagining that. They influence our thoughts and emotions in a very subtle manner. And they will try to convince us that like, we're crazy, right? Like someone is probably sitting there and they're just like, entities aren't even real. That's made up. You know what I mean? Like, but if you felt that tug, then reach out to me. We can set something up. All right. Clear. I love you all infinitely. And I hope that you have an amazing retrograde season. All right. For all those who chose beautiful crystal number 2, the pyrite with the galena and the, clear quartz. There we go. Sorry, this camera thing really weirds me out. Like I have no idea. It's that whole opposite thing. It's reminding me of that phrase, like objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. There's something with that, or things not being quite like what they appear. There's some energy with that for my pile number 2s. We're going to dig deeper into all of this for you. Clear. Sorry about that. Shaking the camera there. All right, give me some energy for pile number 2. what they're experiencing, what's going on with them. What is this retrograde season bringing through for them? All right. We got the Knight of Swords in reverse and the Seven of Wands here. Good Lord. I got to get a grip on that camera thing because it's just looking ridiculous. I'm sorry. I love you guys. All right. So this is, let me feel into this for a moment. This is that impulsive energy and a warning about that. This is somebody who is really learning during this retrograde season, and it makes sense with this energy. It was in Aries up until really I'm recording this video. We're switching more into that Pisces energy, but we still got that eclipse in Aries coming up, and of course we still have Neptune entering Aries. All right, so this is energy of like I feel first of all that you guys really need to slow down. You're pushing yourselves really hard. Your spirit wants you to know that like you are going to burn yourself out. You need to pace yourself a little bit. It's that energy of recognizing where you might be a bit more reckless and impulsive and understanding like what's underneath that. I'm feeling like FOMO here for some people, like that fear of missing out is sort of pushing you to make rash decisions or decisions that may not be aligned with your best and highest good here. There's also this energy of like having your guard up all the time. It's like you're like being on the defensive almost, and feeling this need to control. Like that need to control is really coming up, and where that shows up in your reality. So this is a lot of like where your masculine energy is out of balance. And I feel as this retrograde shifts into Pisces, this is going to be a real opportunity for you to practice sinking more into that divine feminine, that sense of allowing, that sense of surrender here. There's something that really needs to be surrendered, and you're really seeing this retrograde season how refusing to surrender it is making your life unmanageable. It's making things way harder than they need to be. It's going to be like, I feel like things are going to get more and more tense and more challenging until you finally decide to let go. We have the Page of Pentacles here. This is an opportunity coming in though. Even with all this energy here, there's an opportunity that's going to be presenting itself to you. I feel like this is something that's coming back around, something from the past that's coming back around, perhaps like something that was meant for you in the past, but missed you somehow. And it might've been because of this energy of seeking to control here. It might have been, I feel like you were overcommitted. You overcommitted yourself to so many things that you might have overlooked an opportunity, or, I don't know. Let's get a little bit more about this energy. It could be a speaking opportunity, something to do with communication, using your voice, perhaps. For somebody, this is like teaching. I feel like this is a really specific message that's coming in. It's something of like English as a second language, like teaching that, or teaching children, something with speech, like a speech therapist maybe. For somebody, I need to plug in my computer, so give me a second here, you guys. There we go. Thanks. So yeah, if you were interested in being a speech therapist or something like that, this could also be helping people find their voice, like marginalized people. I'm feeling like abused women and domestic violence situations or something, like being a champion for them. So these are just some of this isn't going to be for everybody. Different people, it's going to be different things because this is a general reading. But those are some of the specifics that I see around this. Or it's just an opportunity to use your voice or to use your judgment. For some people, this is like, I don't know, being like investing people's money, investing people's resources, being like an advisor in some capacity, advising people. That's another thing that I'm feeling coming through here. Yeah, so really great opportunities coming through, but you don't want to jump into everything. I feel like what Spirit's saying is, if you jump into this, sorry, let me fix my camera here, you guys. If you jump into this too many things, You're going to miss this opportunity. And that's kind of what I feel like happened before. If you have too much going on, you're not going to recognize this opportunity, or it's going to slip by you. So make sure that you slow down. Make sure that you are really deliberate about what you're choosing right now, because remember, we're aligning with a brand new timeline, a lot of us right now. So everything that we're choosing, from what seems small and insignificant to what actually seems and feels like a big deal. Everything that we're choosing is sort of informing that new timeline and what it is that we are desiring to create here. All right, we got the Seven of Swords. Interesting. This came out for pile number 1 as well. Some of you might have some dual messages and energies in that pile. But in this one, it feels like, let's get some clarification on the Seven of Wands here. Oh, this is interesting. And this is going to play into some of that defensive energy, right? Like some of you, when I say this, are going to be like, see, that's why I need to be on the defensive. But I feel like somebody kind of not stole an opportunity. Nobody can steal anything that's meant for you. But somebody kind of like snuck in and took something that was meant to be yours. But this is why it's coming back around, because what's mine is always mine, right? It's that kind of an energy. So this is also saying beware people in your reality whose intentions and motivations may not be what they're presenting on the surface. Got the Fool with the Hanged Man in reverse. All right, so, but the Hanged Man in reverse, this feels like a new beginning that was delayed, but is now coming through. That's what that feels like to me. I love that energy, actually. Yeah, there was a delay, but now I feel like I said, now I feel like that energy is shifting. The opportunity's coming through. Yeah, a lot of that delayed energy with the Knight of Swords in reverse too here. I feel like you guys have been dealing with, you feel like you've been at a crossroads or an impasse for a long time, and something is finally coming through now. Like we said, it's that opportunity that you've been waiting for. It's finally coming through. But I feel like you guys at the same time, like you are, like we said, that there's that imbalance of masculine energy. So you are doers, you are overdoers. So while you've been waiting for that opportunity to come through, you've been keeping your plate so full that, like I said, you almost miss it altogether. So like we said, slow down. I know it's hard because you feel like things are going too slow and you want to go fast. You are the kind of person, I feel like, who likes to be in overdrive, but it's like, take some time to take care of yourself, because you're about to get what you asked for. Although for some of you guys, it's not going to come in quite the form you expected. That's why you need to keep an open mind, and you need to be not rushing through your decisions so that you're able to recognize the opportunity. Because for some of you, it's like an opportunity, a little opportunity that's going to lead to a bigger opportunity. All right, so you really are going to need to go within and be connected to your intuition to recognize whether this is right for you. And make sure that if you're signing any contracts or anything, try to do that after the retrograde's over, and make sure that you get somebody who knows, like a lawyer, to look over the paperwork so that you're not deceived, so that you're not getting screwed over here with this Seven of Swords. Let's see. Act strategically is what this is saying. And be aware that whatever you're asking for, there may be sacrifices that are necessary. And it's interesting, the Knight of Cups was on the bottom of the deck when I said there may be sacrifices called for. So love might be a sacrifice in the short term. You might not have as much time for that in your life. I also feel like this is that imagination energy, though, with the Knight of Cups here. I am feeling that energy of proposal, which is interesting. I feel like some of you might actually be getting proposed to during this retrograde season. And it's going to be like right around the time this opportunity comes in, or right before. And it's going to seem like a lot. Like thinking about, like, everything's going to change in the blink of an eye here. But like, you're really going to have to find that balance, because when this opportunity comes in for some of you, like, it's not going to leave a lot of time for your relationship. So you're going to have to learn how to balance that. It's definitely going to make wedding planning a little bit challenging. You're definitely going to need to hire a wedding planner. Got the King of Cups here. All right. From the Knight to the King. So this is somebody who's grown energetically is what I'm feeling here. Grown emotionally. Yeah, we got the Sun here. This is rebirth is what I'm feeling from this with the Chariot in reverse. Just Cancer energy. Nine of Wands and the Knight of Wands. There's a lot of this dichotomy of energy here, right? Because we had the Knight of Swords with the Seven of Wands at the beginning. Now we got the Knight of Wands with the Nine of Wands. And we got the Sun with the Chariot. So there's a lot of ambivalence. There's a lot of like being torn in two different directions. And there's a lot of like wanting your blessings, but also blocking them at the same time. Like, it's like that difficulty, and this goes back to the masculine feminine balance, needing to learn how to receive, how to be open to receive, how to be, like we said, within that feminine energy here, how to have strong boundaries, right? So you don't get screwed over, but at the same time, not screw yourself out of your own blessings. I think there's like, it's whatever's coming in, there's something, whether this has to do with the romance aspect or the opportunity, career or whatever. There's an aspect of this where you're going to have to give up a level of control. And I feel like this is really scary for you to have to give up control and step into the unknown like this. Let's see. Got the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, definitely a lot of work-related energy. But then we got the Ace of Wands and the Two of Cups. All right. Yeah, so you guys, I feel like it's all coming in for you. I feel like my pile number 2s, you might have felt like not much was happening for quite a long time, like we said. And now it's all coming in. But it's like a constant lesson in becoming open, in giving up, surrendering control, and allowing things to flow, in slowing down, trusting in timing, allowing things to move at their own pace. Being able to recognize the inspiration and act upon that inspiration. Don't act just to act. Act only when you're inspired. And get really clear on your intentions. I feel like this scarcity energy, this is something that you've been working on. This fear of loss, this fear of abandonment. I said fear of missing out at the beginning of this, didn't I? It's like you're always striving forward because you're afraid of missing out on something. You don't even know what that something is. You just don't want to miss it. Let's get a couple. I had the Awakened Empath out, but I'm not really feeling it. I'm feeling the Thoth deck for you guys, actually. So let's pull a few more from this to get a little bit more clarity here. Because I feel like, what am I missing here? I feel like there's a level of emotional maturity that you had to get to in order to be able to experience the opportunities and the blessings that are coming in for you right now. Spirit, let's get a little more on this energy. You got the Empress. All right. Beautiful. Something that you're creating. And the Hermit. Interesting. So we have Virgo energy and we have Taurus energy. Or Venus energy, which could also be Libra with the Empress. Oh yeah, definitely Taurus, because the Hierophant just flipped out too. All right, so you are people you know may have Taurus or Virgo placements, or just Earth placements in general. The Hierophant always represents a spiritual up-leveling to me, or like a promotion or something like that. The Empress is creation. It's also wealth and abundance, the harvest. So I feel like there is a powerful harvest coming in for you. And it's like you've unlocked another level of your spiritual ascension, of your spiritual journey. You've learned how to apply more of these spiritual principles. Perhaps you've been researching or looking into the 12 laws of the universe, how to work with the laws of the universe, how to work with your own mind, your own energy, how to become the magician. I'm feeling the magician energy with the Hierophant very strongly as well. And you've unlocked another level of potential for yourself. And there's a lot that's coming in with this energy here. I feel like this metaphor of pregnancy, some of you may literally be pregnant. If you don't want to be careful. But I feel like this is more of a metaphorical pregnancy where you've been carrying something to term. And that's where some of this impatience has come in, where you've been like, all right, when's it going to happen? It's kind of like when a woman's pregnant. And by the time she gets to the end of that pregnancy, she's huge and she's miserable and she's just done, right? And those last few weeks of being pregnant, it's just like, when is this kid going to come out? It's like that kind of energy. You're just waiting. You've been like preparing to give birth to whatever this creation is, and this creation spirit saying is your new timeline, it's your new life for such a long time, and you're just like, all right, let's go already. You know what I mean? Like, I know the contractions are gonna suck, but like, bring them on. I'm ready. Let's push this thing out. You know what I mean? And it's like, part of that process for you. Part of the gestation process for you has been this hermit, this internal journey, this going inside, perhaps isolation. So when this love, when all of this comes in, it's going to be really beautiful for those of you who have been in isolation for a really long time. But it's just about doing the internal work. That's what the hermit and the Virgo energy for me is all about. It's also like that 6th house energy with the Virgo energy is coming through. So this is like habits and routines. You've really been working on that. And if you haven't, Spirit's saying now's the time. Get really good routines, consistent routines going. Spiritual hygiene, mental hygiene, physical hygiene. Take care of all the aspects of your being, mind, body, spirit. Get that shit balanced right now. All right. I don't know why I felt like hesitant saying shit when, like, if you guys listen to the first reading, which I said some of you guys should do, like, you'll know why that's funny. But yeah, get it all balanced. Get ready. All right, essentially, because it's like, and like I said, you guys, it's like you have this hermit energy, but I feel like you've been doing a lot. All right, like I said, I feel like you've been running around like a chicken with your head cut off. It's either that or you've just been doing a lot energetically. And that's what I was picking up on with that energy of feeling like you're go, go, go all the time and you need to slow down. Spirit's saying you've done enough energetic work, you've done enough clearing, you've done enough belief work. Now it's time to just take care of yourself, to kick back, relax, and let the opportunities come through. Let the energy come through, but work on getting ready to receive. All right. That's your biggest mission right now. Allow yourself to become ready to receive, get it. It's like that final alignment that needs to happen. The Empress with the 3 right now, that looks like the 111 energy. Some of you guys, 111 or 1111 may be significant, or 3s. I'm feeling 333, 7s, 9s. It is a 9 year, right? We got the 10 here of Wands. But it's like, yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. Honestly, it's just trying to get my train of thought there for a minute. Just prepare to receive. Prepare to receive. That's it. It's all you got to do, pile number 2. Get in energetic alignment and stay there. Be open for the opportunities and the blessings. Recognize them when they come. Like I said, the first one is going to come. It's going to be a smaller blessing that paves the way to the larger blessing. All right. Final card. Queen of Swords coming out again. And the 10 of Wands. So this is just the reiteration of like putting down the burdens, anything that you've been carrying, anything that's been weighing on you, trimming out the fat. That came through in a reading the other day. Get rid of the excess, what you don't need. All right. Pare it down to the essentials right now. And make peace with anyone and anything in your life that is breaking your focus, breaking your energy. This may be about reconciliation. This may be about, I think we talked about, was it this pile or the last pile? About choosing your battles. It's like that kind of an energy. This is also rest, right? 4 of Swords traditionally is resting and healing. Some of you guys with the oppression, the 10 of Wands here, this is Saturn and Sagittarius. Some of you guys, that may be a placement that you have, or this could have to do with like a heavy Saturn cycle that you just came out of. I know I just came out of a Saturn conjunct my Jupiter, and for like the past year, and let me tell you, that was rough. All right. But it really built my faith, and I really learned a lot, and it really motivated me to take action and start really doing the work that I needed to do to get to where I needed to be. And I feel like for you guys, this is what this has been about too. This energy, this feeling of oppression, this feeling of like I can't breathe almost, like there's so much heaviness layered on top of me. That's about to end. That's about to end. But it's up to you to put down some of those burdens, to stop carrying the weight. I'm hearing for somebody like the weight of other people's expectations, the weight of your own expectations. If you tend to be more perfectionistic, that's some of that Virgo energy too. I'm releasing that. Releasing the expectations, expectations for yourself and your life. It's like you are somebody who is highly motivated. You are somebody who is inspired. You are somebody who is here to inspire others. You don't need to worry about that. All right. You don't have to hold yourself to such a high standard, like consciously. You operate at a higher standard anyway, because that's just the type of person that you are. All right. So cut yourself some slack. Cut other people in your reality some slack, maybe. Know that everybody else is just trying to navigate these waters as well. Then we have Judgment. And look at this card. This is such a cool card in this deck. Like I said, the camera thing it's I'm doing my best, you guys. This has a very DMT kind of feel to me. Honestly, I gotta say. It reminds me of like something you would see on DMT or ayahuasca. Right? Bufu, something like that. Some of you guys may have a trip, maybe going on a trip or a journey here. Plant medicine. Some of you may have recently had one, and Spirit saying it really did something powerful within your consciousness. This is also just you connecting and tapping into universal consciousness. But this is definitely a message for somebody. If you've been considering that, this is like a green light from Spirit. Make sure it's the right scenario, the right people. Like we said, don't be impulsive with that. You want to be very selective and really honor that as a sacred process. But I think that would be really powerful for some of you guys as well. Yeah. Whew. And then let's just look at the Queen of Swords came out twice for you guys. So some of you may have heavy air in your charts, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But look at her lounging. All right. Look at that. Topless even. This is some of you guys like number one, reading one. Some of that's going to resonate for you too. Not a fuck given. In this card here. She's just lounging. She is not concerned. She is not worried. She's got her sword. She knows how to use it. She's got somebody's head too, right? She just cut off somebody's head, all right? That off with their heads vibe going on there. So don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth, to demand what you're worth in certain situations. Yeah, I don't know. Read into that what you will. Some of you guys, this is about standing up for yourself. Standing up for yourself more. Speaking your truth, honoring your truth. I'm going to pull one elemental empath card to end for you guys. That's the aspect of your divine feminine that's also wanting to be cultivated right now, is that Queen of Swords energy. Somebody who knows her worth and doesn't compromise it. Clear. Somebody, like we said, who speaks her truth, honors her truth. Honors the truth of others as well, though. Like Queen of Swords upright. Honors everybody's truth. It's like the whole freedom of speech debate that we have going on right now, right? It's like both sides need to honor that, like, freedom of speech means sharing whatever it is that you have to share. Sharing your truth regardless of whether it aligns with somebody else's truth or not. But like, we have a responsibility to do that in a way that is kind, right? in a way that is spiritually balanced, I guess. Unapologetic is coming out. Oh my God. This is about being yourself, releasing yourself from societal expectations, allowing yourself to be the mess. All right. So this is especially relevant. Remember how we were talking about, and I know the shine there. There we go. We were talking about, sorry, give me a second here. That the Virgo energy of having these high expectations of yourself, right? This is letting go of those expectations, just letting yourself be free. Not apologizing for being who you are. This is where we have Reclaiming the Power, card 7 on the bottom of the deck. All right. Healing the victim consciousness. But this is like, let yourself be that beautiful hot mess. All right. Don't apologize for being who you are. For loving who you love. The more we fall into and embrace the beauty and the truth of who we are, the more we attract to us all the things that are meant for us. If you be your messy self, you will find your beautiful, messy tribe. Let me see. I'm going to read this to you guys to close. And have you noticed how the sun keeps coming back and forth out of the clouds during this reading? I feel like there's their energy too. Like you guys have been going through a lot of cycles, moods, right? Dark moods, light moods, a lot of shifts and energies here. Because you're just shifting so much. There's so much energy that's moving through you right now. So just let that energy continue to move through you. Let those emotions continue to flow through you. Don't stop. Don't try to stymie anything. Don't try to hold anything back. Be mindful of like, we don't take our emotions out on other people, right? But like, let everything flow, let everything move through you. Allow the light and the dark. It's like the light and the dark are balancing right now. Don't deny either aspect of yourself. That's part of being unapologetically you, right? This says, and this is about, when we talk about women here, we're going to take this as the divine feminine aspect of our nature, whether we're masculine or feminine, right? Or male or female. How many times as women have we been told that we are too much? Too loud, too sexual, too opinionated, too dominating, too reserved, too emotional, too dramatic. The list goes on and on. Are you stuck worrying about what others think of you? Are you lost in the expectation of what you should be, what you wish you could be, or what others think it's cool to be? This card is your reminder that you are allowed to be you. It might take some time to discover who that is, but she is there, or he, right, just below the surface. Start to give her permission to emerge. Let her be as she is, loud or quiet, extrovert, introvert, dominant, submissive, sometimes all at once, right? Trying to be somebody else is such a waste of the true you. The ones who don't like her aren't the ones you want close to you anyway, right? I always say when you're yourself, you automatically, like the people who aren't a match for you, remove themselves from your life, right? They do all the work for you. This card also reminds you that you don't always have to be nice. For women especially, being nice is equated to being a good human being. Nothing could be farther from the truth. You can be the real you, however that looks. Consider that being nice might just be a way for society to keep us from reclaiming our power. And what do we have on the bottom of the deck here? Reclaim your power. You don't have to be mean to everyone. There are ways to express how you feel, be yourself, and be kind and considerate without living in the energy of constant people-pleasing. That's what the Queen of Swords here for you represents. You are just as important as everyone else, and you are allowed to roar. True, there are times when we need to take on a different role, whether at work, with family, or in crisis situations. But at our core, if we own who we are without giving a fuck what others think, you guys really need to watch pile number 1 too. We can find true freedom. Lastly, this card urges you to find your own path, whatever that may look like. Step out of the societal collective and make the choice for yourself. What do you want? How do you want to act? What do you want to do? And what is keeping you from doing it? Take steps toward becoming unapologetically you. And that is, of course, what this retrograde season is all, the Aries portion particularly has been all about, right? Those particular questions. And the potential blocks here include getting lost and second guessing yourself. Always wondering if how you acted or what you said was okay. So working with people pleasing, being gentle with yourself. All right, not worrying so much. Was that offensive? In today's culture, Jesus Christ, you're always going to offend someone. Me just saying Jesus Christ offended somebody. All right, like don't worry, me and Yeshua are good. But you know what I mean? But me dropping the F-bomb just offended somebody. My tattoos offend somebody. You know what I mean? Like you are always going to offend to somebody, especially in today's world. So like, be yourself. All right. You're never going to get total approval from everyone. All right. If you get mass approval from every single person, you have zero personality. There is zero authenticity about you. All right. Like you are so homogenized. You're like pasteurized milk. Okay. We want, like anybody who delves into health subjects, they know it's that raw, unpasteurized. That's the good stuff right there. All right. Let's see. Another blockage is getting lost in being you. Oh, interesting. Embodying the true you is a powerful thing, but be aware of getting lost in every whim and emotion that arises. This is that Knight of Swords in reverse energy right there. Be willing to admit your shortcomings in areas where you might need some healing or growth. It's possible to get lost in selfishness or egoic patterns when you unconsciously act however you want. I'll add here with no concern for other people. The raw you is beautiful. Just be open to some growth. And practice is to ask yourself, who is the true me in this situation? How can I embody them? If they're buried beneath years of conditioning, be patient. The more you pause to check in with how you actually want to act, the more you will feel the permission, the true you will feel the permission to come forward. You might also imagine other people as flowing in a river together, stuck in the same mindset, acting the same, living the same lives. See if you can imagine yourself stepping out of that societal flow and embracing your true self and creating your own path. Instead of being sucked into the Western rat race, separate your energy and break off on your own. However this looks, even if it's just in small ways at first. And I saw you coming out of that river as this gorgeous hawk or eagle and just soaring above. It's like instead of staying below in the water with everyone else, you decide to soar above the whole thing. All right. I love you so much. Thank you so much, pile number 2. You are so beautiful. I hope you have an amazing retrograde season, and I will talk to you soon. All right. If you picked pile number 3 and crystal number 3, this beautiful aura quartz, then this is going to be your reading. And I was called to start with the Starseed Oracle here. So I'm definitely talking to my star seeds here, my star seeds and light workers. Clear. You are probably very connected to your starseed heritage. And if you're not, then subconsciously your higher self was calling out for this reading to let you know and remind you of your nature, that you are not of this earth, although you are here. And I don't know why I was talking so strangely right then, like really slowly. I felt like my speech was a little bit slow and stunted. So some of you may be struggling to speak your truth, or just feeling like your words aren't quite coming out right now. Like you're trying to speak, you're trying to share things, you're trying to communicate to others, but you're just not getting the energy across. And I feel like some of you actually, this has been a lifelong struggle for you, where you felt misunderstood. You felt as if you couldn't quite, I'm getting, some of you may actually be autistic or something similar to that, where it's just like the normal cues of society and sort of the energies and the ways that people interact. You never quite were able to connect in that same way or kind of pick up on those energies. It's like you just felt very out of place in this, not just like this society, but this world. And this is a general energy for starseeds. This is one of the signs, the big signs that you are a starseed, is that you feel out of place in this way. You have trouble acclimating to the energies, to the customs on this planet, to the ways of relating. Because they're so different. Even just speech, right? Like in the non-physical realms and these different types of ET races primarily communicate through telepathy. Right, so we don't have to use words. We don't have to pick the exact right words. We don't have to worry that different people have different things that they associate with certain words, that they're going to understand our words, that the nuances are going to get missed, that sort of affect the way that words are conveyed and what is actually meant by them. Like all of that confusion, all of that crap. It's just, telepathy is very different. It's not actual words. It's images, it's impressions, it's ideas, it's thoughts that are transmitted instantly. It's downloads, right? So, yeah, that just may be something that you struggle with. And of course, during Mercury retrograde, we tend to struggle with that more. All right. Some of these cards are like, I don't know. I put these in. So some of them are backwards. We have the Courageous Peony here that was backwards. Oh, that's interesting. Spirit saying take the ones that are backwards, the ones that are going against the grain. So there's an energy of that going against the grain, allowing yourself to be different. Just embracing that you are different. Your difference is your superpower. And I think that this retrograde, like we said, is going to be really highlighting those differences that you feel. But it's to help you understand how to embrace them. Instead of feeling self-conscious because you don't connect in the same way, you don't interact in the same way. You don't behave, or you don't feel like, you don't go with the status quo. It's like embracing that about yourself, seeing all of for some of you, it's like your sensitivity as a gift as well. Some of you were told for a really long time that your vulnerability, your sensitivity is, there's something wrong with you because of that. And it's the exact opposite. Is true. It's a beautiful gift. Other people just don't know how to appreciate that gift because it is so rare, that deep sensitivity and emotionality. All right, we have children of the cosmos, or child of the cosmos here. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. By trying to conform to a version or a vision of yourself, by trying to become somebody that you're not, you're missing your own magic. And you're missing all the magic that lies within you is unable to be expressed. All right. It's like you're locking yourself up in your own prison, and Spirit's saying this is the time to set yourself free. We have the Seas of Mintaka here, which is all about bringing the shadow to light, becoming aware of your shadows, and therefore being able to recognize your true potential. Then we have Cracked Open, surrendering to the alchemy of life. Activated Earth. I'm just going to pull these all out, and then we're going to read them. All right, that's all of them. That's all the ones that were against the grain. Although Harayath came out when I split the deck, longing, homesick for the stars. I feel like a lot of you are going through that process right now. And the energy of boundaries, needing to let go. Surrender what's not yours, taking on too much. And that's part of being so energetically sensitive. All right, so let's trace back through this energy here. There's a lot of shadow energy, a lot of shadow energies that are coming up for you during this Venus Mercury retrograde and eclipse season, right? It's all happening at the same time. It's so magical. That brings through so many opportunities and also so many challenges. All right. And I feel like you're feeling that in equal measure right now. I feel as though you're actually, there are certain gifts that are activating within you right now. And there's a potential that's unlocked, that's being unlocked because of that. And you're beginning to be shown higher possibilities for your life. Different possible timelines. You may be being shown these literally through visions, through dreams, or you may just be sensing them. And you may not even have know the specifics of it, but you're sensing them. If that makes sense, it's going to make sense for who that's meant to resonate for. But this is bringing up fears. This is bringing up insecurities. This is bringing that shadow energy forward here. And this is, our dreams are meant to do this. Right? The path of our dharma, the path that our soul chose to walk for ultimate evolution and growth in this lifetime, was meant to bring up, it was designed to bring up our greatest fears so that we would need to walk through those, so that we would learn how to overcome those. All right. Behind your greatest fear lies your greatest dream and your greatest realization, your greatest actualization. If you live your life afraid to move past your fears, you won't be living at all. All right. You will be existing, and you will never, I know never is a strong word to use, but in this particular instance, I am confident in using it. You will never realize your true potential. Never. If you allow your fears to keep you caged. You got to be okay being scared. This is what a lot of these Aries energies are teaching us. Aries energy is not fearless. Aries energy is here to learn how to walk through their fear. They're here to be courageous. There's a difference between being fearless and being courageous. Courage requires fear, because courage is the ability to walk through your fears, to face your fears, to be afraid and to do the thing anyway. That's what we're learning how to do. That's a lot of what Neptune and Aries energy is all about too. It's the empowerment, the spiritual empowerment, right? The collective empowerment, being that Neptune is a collective planet. And yes, I think I said at the beginning of the intro to this reading about how Neptune enters Aries the day after the solar eclipse during retrograde season here. How Mercury retrograde actually swaps places with Neptune, right? Mercury going from 0 Aries to 29 Pisces as Neptune moves from 29 Pisces to 0 Aries. So this little switcheroo of energy here. So these shadow energies are coming to the surface. These fears are coming to the surface. What is held within the unconscious is coming to the surface. And if you're not acknowledging this, if you're just trying to go about your day and repress these energies, that doesn't work with everything we've got going on right now. It's going to come out sideways, or it's going to haunt you as this constant anxiety, this constant like tension in your body, this constant irritability and frustration. It's so important that we acknowledge what's coming up for us right now instead of trying to stuff it back down. We are clearing, we are purging. There's a powerful, and I'm going to attach it at the end of this actually, both of the things that I did on these energy, or a couple of the last things that I did on these particular energies, because it's so important to understand what's happening right now. So see those, they'll be available to click on right at the end of this video. The DNA activations that we have going on right now are so incredibly powerful. We are beginning the process, the series of mutations that lead to the ultimate transmutation of our DNA as we move into 2027 and the new human really truly begins to come online. That a process is being initiated during this beginning eclipse season, particularly this eclipse in Aries. And as the moon cycles from now until 2027 continue, we're going to see more of this energy being activated, more of these DNA activations continuing to unfold, more of these light codes coming in through the sun as well, of course, that are going to be initiating in these DNA activations. All right. So there's a lot going on here. In order for all this light to enter our cells, our being, we have to dispel all the energy that's taken up space. All right. We have to create more space. So all those fears, those what we would call lower emotions, right? And we're not demonizing them by saying that. They're lower vibratory emotions. They had a purpose, right? They provide contrast. They teach us a lot. But there's a point where they're no longer necessary and they're more of a hindrance than a help. And that's when it's time to release them. It's time to let them go. All right. But if we continue to repress them, that's how they got stuck there in the first place. All right, we have to be willing to acknowledge them, even if it feels uncomfortable. There may be certain times where we're not able to do that, where we're at work or something of that nature. Don't worry, you'll get another opportunity. They will come up again. All right. And when they do, and you're in a space where you're able to work with them, please do that, because that's going to be our guiding force at this point. That's the magic right there. 2025, like the emotional purge is so real and it's so necessary. It's all a necessary force to get us where we're going. It's a part of the process, right? Not all parts of this process are pleasant. Many of them aren't, and that's okay. We didn't sign up for easy. We didn't sign up for a free ride. We signed up for the accelerated course. That is what everybody on this planet, if we're looking at Earth as a school, that's what everybody's taking right now. This is like AP Bio, AP Chemistry, whatever you want to call it, right? All right. So AP Creation, Manifestation. Yeah, so some of you guys, it's like in some aspect of your life, there's this energy of hitting rock bottom and allowing yourself to hit rock bottom, whether this is emotionally, spiritually. For some of you guys, like your whole life might feel like it's falling apart. And that's so it can come back together in a way that is more resonant for you. All right, your higher self is orchestrating all of this for your greatest benefit. I know it can be really hard to trust that when things feel like they're falling apart. But it's so true. Like your spirit wants you to know that. I orchestrated all of this for your highest good. Simply surrender to me. Surrender to this process. Some of you guys, it's going to help to travel to certain places that are calling you. Many of you are also grid workers. Really, all light workers are grid workers. You know what I mean? Like we carry light codes, we carry frequencies. They help to activate different places just as different places activate us, right? It's always a give and a take, an exchange of energy. So pay attention to where you're being called. This could be huge trips such as going to Machu Picchu or going to Egypt or going to Ireland, something like that, Peru, or it could be smaller things like going next door, taking a different route to work, going hiking in an area that you don't usually go to. Just pay attention to where your energy is needed, where it is that you're being called. And there are certain places, and you're going to know these places. You already know. There's probably a place that popped into your mind right away when I said that are your particular power places. And there are going to be some that maybe you've traveled to before that may be harder to get to because they're not in your immediate surroundings. There's also going to be some in your immediate surroundings. Go to those places when you're feeling really overwhelmed, when you're feeling super stressed, when your nervous system is like pinging. And they will help calm you. They will ground you. They will center you. They will nurture you. It's like Mother Earth wants to nurture you. You are a nurturer of this planet and she wants to return that energy. So go to the places where you're drawn, where you feel that natural synergy with her energy, where she's able to fill you back up, so to speak. All right, anything else? This is that energy of amends, forgiveness and apology. I feel like there's somebody who wants to make something right with you. I'm definitely feeling this as romantic for some people who are finding this reading, but for others, this might be a friendship. Could even for a couple, I'm feeling this as a parent. Oh, and for somebody finding this, or a select group of somebody's, this is a parent who's passed on. And so for those of you who this energy is for, this parent is coming through. I'm feeling like there's this wave of sorrow or regret that I'm really feeling here. They never told you how much they loved you. They may have actively behaved in ways like that were detached or cold or even cruel, I'm feeling for a couple of you. And there's so much guilt that they carry, like the part of them, their self that is still more attached to this earthly experience. As we move into the higher realms, we don't carry that guilt anymore because we see things from a different perspective. But this is like the human aspect of the very humanly connected aspect of their soul. It's like this deep regret. Although you orchestrated and planned things to be exactly as they were, and you were all just acting out and carrying out your plans, there's still a deep regret coming from this person. This is specific to people who have a passed on loved one, feeling very specifically a parent here. They didn't want to play that role for you. But that's the role that you needed them to play in order for you to grow the way that you needed to grow, in order for you to experience what you needed to experience to become who you were today. But it was, as a soul, it was very painful for them. and they still feel this regret. Even though they see the higher picture, there's still like this pain of having had to put you through that. And they're saying, stop putting yourself through it now. Some type of wounding, the trauma pattern that was created here, and this is ancestral, right? They incarnated into the body they did, into the lineage they did, just like you did, inheriting this ancestral karma. These cycles of the ways that mother, I wanted to say mothers and daughters, but for some it's father. The way that those connections, those patterns within the family. They're saying it almost took on a life of its own. Those patterns, that energy, how deeply it's ingrained. And you don't have to keep living out that pattern. For some of them, it's like, I feel like they criticized you a lot. They were really cruel to you. And now you're really cruel to yourself. And you may even find yourself criticizing partners or people in relationship. Even if you don't do it verbally, you might do it internally. And they're saying don't perpetuate this cycle. Sorry, you are better than that. They love you so much. Somebody too has a passed on loved one who's like really connected to them. Like you're still in the physical, but they're really connected to you. They watch over you really strongly. And they're going to be returning. I don't know if I'll have released the walk-in video yet. I've had so many videos that I've recorded for you guys over the last few days. I have to space them out when I'm releasing them all. But in that video, we talked about twin flames and how twin flames were going to be walking into bodies, essentially, at some point during the ascension in waves to unite with their divine counterparts. I feel like it's not just going to be twin flames. It's going to be others as well. There's going to be a shifting of energy. So this person's going to come back. This might not be a walk-in, though. I'm feeling somebody who's going to come back as a child. They're going to be a child in your life, maybe in your family again. They're going to come back. I feel like for some of you, this could be like your niece or nephew or something. It could be your child as well. You'll know if this resonates for you. They're going to come back and you're going to get to have a different experience with them from a different perspective and energy. And really experience the love that you didn't get to experience within the type of connection that you had in this lifetime. And that message brings forward another message. And this is something that helps me to understand what I would consider, like we would term like more karmic relationships. The relationships that were really painful that I experienced. The way that's helped me to forgive and move through those energies of resentment is understanding that a lot of times, like the souls that come in that hurt us the most, that we're like on a deep, intimate level that we're very close to, whether this is parents, lovers, best friends, children, they're oftentimes the souls that love us the most. They love us enough that they sacrificed having a positive relationship with us in this lifetime in order to teach us the lessons that we most needed to learn. Sacrifice, honestly, like at least as it's coming through right now, is the ultimate form of love. Sacrifice in the terms of putting your own wants and desires last in order to put somebody else's first. You know, this is what parents do for their children, ideally. The parent in the scenario we just talked about, I don't think did that, you know. They agreed to come here and not do that because you needed that experience. And in some ways they needed it too, right? There's always two to tango here. And there's always lessons and reasons on both ends of all these situations and scenarios. So it helps to know that. It helps to remember that. And so that we can look at these people who hurt us so deeply and say, like, thank you for that. Thank you for the sacrifice you made to come into this life knowing that I was going to hate you, or knowing that I was going to be so angry with you, knowing that things were not going to work out when they could have, because we are soulmates, right? We'd have a deep soul connection. But knowing that it was more important to help me with my soul growth and evolution than it was for us to be happy and have a harmonious connection in this lifetime. Like, you valued my growth and evolution more, and I valued yours more, right? That's a really mature connection there. That's a powerful connection. So that somebody, I think maybe that's going to help you to understand the connections in your life a little bit better too, and maybe come to peace with some of the situations that you're going through. All right, we have the Void on the bottom of the deck. So there's a message coming through for everyone right now. Like, don't worry so much about all the doing. The doing is going to come naturally. Right? Circumstances are going to present themselves. We're going to have no choice but to do. The opportunities are going to come up. It's just going to be about embracing them. Right? Simply become that point of attraction. Stop trying to force things as well. If there's nothing going on in your life right now, embrace that. If there's a lot going on in your life right now, embrace that. Whatever is happening, embrace it. Period. And water your garden on the bottom of the deck here. This is all about self-care. Drinking lots of water, getting lots of rest. Working with water, once again, working with the elements, working with nature. I feel water is really strong and powerful of an element for this group. Even with the Seas of Mintaka, right? Look at that. Tropical vacation. Somebody's dreaming of a tropical vacation here. And I think you should take it. Find a way. Right? Where there's a will, there's a way. Look at this, the 7 star sisters. That is the Pleiades energy. So some of you guys are definitely Pleiadian. You have connections with the Pleiadians. Also the Pleiadian portal coming through. That time period could be really important for you all. The Pleiadian portal is the end of May. All right. So that is like, it begins on the 16th. I believe 16th or 17th of May, and it goes into the very beginning of Gemini season. So I think it's like the 23rd of May that it ends, 23rd, 24th. I want to say, we'll say like 16th through the 24th, when the sun is moving through the Pleiades star cluster, essentially, as a Pleiadian portal. Some of you might have birthdays around that time. Some of you, it's just going to be a really powerful time of creativity, of coming together, manifesting in that soul tribe, that sisterhood or brotherhood or community. Like, you're going to feel a surge of creativity, creations that you've been working on, or things that you've been working to manifest or beginning to visualize. For somebody, I'm seeing like a vision board. You've been creating a vision board, and you're going to start noticing things on your vision board like it's coming to life. This is the message for some of you. If you haven't, maybe it's time to create a vision board. A vision board is where you cut out pictures of the things that you're desiring to manifest, and you hang them all up like a collage somewhere where you can look at them all. I've done that. I haven't done that in a long time, but I did that when I was a teenager or a young adult, and it worked. It worked. The funniest part, I'll share this with you guys just for a little humor break here, is at that point, I was working to manifest losing weight. And this is a story throughout my life. I've struggled with body dysmorphia and eating disorders and all of this different stuff most of my life. I'm going through another workaround of these energies now after, having a baby and quitting smoking and moving into my late 30s. There's a whole perfect storm of energy that's bringing up this energy again. We all work through it in spirals, is why I'm sharing that. Spirals, like a deeper level and a deeper level. But so I had a vision board, and what I would do is I would cut out, and I had other things on there too that I was manifesting, but I would cut out these versions of bodies, the body type that I was working on building. And then I took pictures of myself, because we used to have physical pictures back in the day. It wasn't all on our phones. And I would cut off my head out of the photos and put it on the bodies. And so there would be all these bodies with these giant heads, because my head was way bigger than the bodies. And a lot of these pictures, I would cut the bodies out of magazines and stuff like that, because people still read those back then too. And I remember, I think it was a guy that I was hanging out with came over to when I was living at my mom's house, and he came into my room and he saw my vision board of me with like, there's like a picture because I was manifesting a car too, so there's like a car, and then there's like my giant head, smiling head, like sitting in the driver's seat in the windshield, and he's like, what is going on here? I'm like, that's my vision board. It was pretty funny. But it worked. I looked amazing. I mean, there was work that went into that. You know, I was working out and I was doing these things, but I think the energy all feeds upon itself. Like, when we create that and we're working toward that, it's almost like the energy picks up and it gives us the extra motivation to do the things too. It's like, it's all a perfect storm of energy. There's a connection to it all now. And I know this because my ears are ringing. So it's like, work with all the aspects of creation, right? The physical, the visualization, the belief work, the taking the actions, all of it. And they all support each other, right? The affirmations, it all supports, they build on each other. Yeah, I don't know why I got into that. Because somebody needs to make a vision board. Somebody watching this, like, that would be really beneficial for you. It takes some effort now, like I said, because we don't really have magazines anymore or any of these things where you can cut things out, but you can still find them. They still exist. Go out to the store, check it out, print some stuff off your computer. Print some pictures off your phone, make a collage, make a virtual collage and use it as your screensaver or something like that on your laptop or your phone. There's lots of different ways to do this. And I think it could be really powerful for some people. You know what I mean? I'm even like, Spirit's even saying, like, say you're in a relationship and you're trying to heal that relationship, put around a lot of pictures of you being happy with that person, whether it's a friend or a romantic or whatever, even your parents, children. These things make a bigger difference than we think. Everything makes a bigger difference than we think. But yeah, I feel like you're going to start seeing more of those creations or more of that inspiration coming around the Pleiadian portal. I think your Pleiadian brothers and sisters are going to be assisting you with that. I want to pull, I was going to pull the soulmate, but I'm feeling more the money manifestation. I'm going to pull a couple cards of these to close for you, because I think some of you are working to manifest abundance as well. And this is not just about money, even though it says that. This is about purpose. This is about creation, what you're creating. These are really fun decks, actually. I have a money one and a soulmate one that I got, and I'll do the soulmate one soon, too. The soulmate one has 55 cards. My eyes fell on 55. So that number could be relevant to somebody. That is a number of changes as well. And this one is 60, number 6. All right, and love popped out there. So some of you may be manifesting love as well. Love is a form of abundance, right? All right, let's get a couple closing cards clear around manifesting, creating for my pile 3s. Money, abundance, whatever abundance means to them, fulfillment means to them, their dreams, their goals. Give us a little bit of guidance here. A couple tips toward what they're working towards or how to get there. All right. Oh, that's so funny. Look what cards I shuffled back in that came back out. Impatience and love. All right. So we might be looking at the soulmate cards here instead. So this is saying it takes time to build an empire. Your desire for instant results can hinder your ability to make good decisions. And this is Aries energy here too, right? And this was pile 2, I think it was, that had that energy of recklessness and doing something just for the sake of doing it and balancing out the masculine energy. Some of you might want to check out pile number 2 as well. It's like, don't look for the instant gratification. Don't look for the quick fix here. Trust me, I'm a Taurus sun. Patience has been a lifelong journey of mine. It's one of the energies I came here to master. I get it. It's annoying. It sucks, but it is what it is, right? Things take time. Good things take more time. Big things take even more time. All right. We talked about quantum shifting, quantum leaping. If you're trying to go from here to here, that's a process. All right. It's gonna take what it takes. We got to be willing to be in it for the long haul. whatever this is, whether you're trying to grow a business right now, whether you're working on your own beliefs, self-love, building community, calling in romantic love, you got to be patient. And this card says, love is the greatest of successes on the path to prosperity. Who can fully experience abundance without it? Clear. And I'm feeling like this is self-love for some people too that we're talking about here. All right. Work on cultivating that self-love. The self-love is also the key to your prosperity, because it's that being able to receive, being in the abundance of prosperity is being in the energy of worthiness. All right. If we don't love ourselves, then how can we believe that we are worthy of anything good? Right? If we don't believe that we are good, how are we going to believe that we're worthy of something good? If we don't believe and feel that we are abundant, how are we going to attract that energy? Just like if we don't know that, it's like one thing to know that we're love. It's another thing to feel that we are love. And to allow ourselves to be love. How do you be love? By setting yourself free. By not caring about what other people think. By doing your own thing. By being your own vibe is what I want to say. I don't know why I want to put it like that, but that's what Spirit wants to say. Be your own vibe. That would make a good bumper sticker, actually. Wouldn't it? Maybe I'll turn that into a t-shirt. Be your own vibe. All right, what's for the got learning here and alignment, which is what we were just talking about, right? Coming into spiritual alignment, aligning our energy. And then we have learning. So this is saying if you're looking for romantic love, you might find this in a class through somebody who has a similar interest to you. So look, really work with your hobbies and the interests that you have. Educational class settings, classes, seminars, retreats. Retreat was on the bottom of the deck here. Some of you, if you've been thinking about going to a retreat, invest in yourself. The greatest way, another big energy when we're trying to manifest abundance or anything, is to be willing to invest in ourselves. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, who else is going to invest in you? Right? For this energy, I think that might be really helpful. Somebody has been wanting to go to some type of, feels like a spiritual retreat, but it could be anything. It could be a vacation. For somebody, I feel like you've been thinking about going on one of those vacations where people who don't know each other all pay money and go together, like a tour. Because you don't have anybody to go with in your immediate vicinity. You don't know anybody that would go with you. That could be really powerful. And I think for those of you who are afraid of traveling alone, that could be really empowering as well. I love to do that. I go to retreats. I love going to retreats in different places, different countries or different places around the country where I don't know anybody, but I meet people while I'm there, right? Because everybody's there for the same reason. Generally, they have people that pick you up at the airport or you Airbnb to a certain location. So you don't have to worry about a lot where that's concerned either. So it can make it easier to travel, especially if you're traveling abroad, because you're not like navigating it all on your own. So that takes a little bit of the fear factor out of it. Like, like you're going to just have to get yourself to this certain location, or you just got to get off the plane. Like sometimes they will literally pick you up at the airport. You know what I mean? So, that's a great idea for somebody. I feel like you might meet somebody there. A love connection as well, especially if it's a self-help. Like self-help has such a weird connotation in society today, right? Like self-healing, spiritual retreat, or like even a work summit, I feel like for somebody or something like that. Any of the stuff that I just talked about or anything that I didn't mention that feels like it resonates. Your soulmate might be waiting for you there. Your soulmate's waiting for you to step out of your comfort zone. Just a little bit, I feel. All right, then we also have distance here. Although we are experiencing life in different locations right now, we are still so connected. So yeah, you got to travel to meet this person. They're not where you are. Ooh, that was two-pronged. That was literal, like they don't live in the town or the city or the state or the country that you do. It's also like energetic-wise. Ooh, did you see the orb that just flew by right there? Let me know if you guys saw it. You need to come into energetic alignment too. That's why, like, continuing to cultivate this self-love, continuing to work on yourself, to heal yourself, that is what's going to bring you into, once you come into energetic alignment, you'll come into physical alignment, right? The opportunity for the trip or whatever you're meant to take will present itself. And then we have denial here. What truth about yourself are you avoiding that could be interfering with your openness to love? And I'll add abundance to this too. So this is a hidden belief system. This is a hidden fear that needs to be unearthed. And that word is very specific. Spirit really wanted me to specifically use the word unearthed for some reason. You're going to know why if that's for you. And this is once again reminding me of my favorite Rumi quote. We are not here to seek for love, but to seek within ourselves all the barriers that we have built against it. Right here. What are those final barriers that you've built against love and abundance? Because remember, love and abundance are very tied in. They both are connected to our self-worth. They are the two most obvious and overt reflections of our self-worth in the material world. And then we have attraction. There, baby. They're calling to you. Everything. This isn't just the person. This is everything that you want. What you want is seeking you. I'm exactly your type. This doesn't just mean like romantically speaking. This is in everything that you're looking for. There's a reason that your dreams exist. They were placed there by you. They're meant to be realized. All right. Okay. I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing eclipse season, retrograde season. I'll be, of course, continuing to come out with more videos, live streams. We live stream every Wednesday at 2 p.m. If you haven't liked this video yet, please go ahead and do that. It is so helpful. If you're new and you're enjoying the vibe, go ahead and join the tribe. Click that subscribe button. I know that's so hokey, but I can't help myself. Like I said, we live stream every Wednesday at 2 p.m. We also have a channel membership. If anybody's interested in that, you get extra little perks during the live streams, as well as private videos as you move up in the tiers. So go ahead and check that out if you feel called to, or you just want to support the channel. If you feel called to work on with me one-on-one, either with coaching, energy healing, entity removal, astrology, tarot readings, pick your poison, right? All that information is in the description box below. And as always, I will talk to you soon. Bye.